Okay, let's look at parallelism and then we'll do some practice. Okay, so the deal with parallelism, it's one of these grammatical concepts that everyone's sort of heard of before, but I like to cover it here in this class because I think that a lot of people don't really understand what it means. Okay, and the way I like to sort of tie this in is to think about nature. Okay, there's a certain preference for symmetry in nature. You know, like I've got this little image here of a ladybug and this sort of bilateral symmetry that a ladybug has. And it sort of is mirrored in language that we, humans have an affinity for a certain symmetry and consistency in how our sentences are put together, okay? And we express that in our writing, okay? So the idea with parallelism is to create a kind of symmetrical or consistent pattern in the coordinate parts of sentences, okay, so that they balance. And when a sentence has a compound structure or a list, each item in that should be parallel so it doesn't stick out. It's part of this sort of coordinated piece of the sentence, okay? And what we mean by parallel is grammatically the same, okay, or grammatically equivalent, okay? So all the verbs in the present, one verb in the present tense listed with several, then they should all be in the present tense. If you've got a list, either have all nouns, have all gerunds, or whatever, but don't mix it up, is the idea, okay? So notice the parallelism here with the compound subject, okay? The short, blonde woman and her black poodle seem to belong together, okay? You can sort of recast this sentence as a formula, okay? So that you have noun phrase, and then the verb and the rest of the sentence, okay? Now, sometimes writers lose that parallel structure when they do lists, like I said, okay? So each item should have the same grammatical function. Here's an example. Mary likes hiking, swimming, and to ride a bicycle, okay? Y'all see how that last element of the list there isn't parallel? Why? Well, grammatically, what you've got is a gerund, and then an infinitive, okay? And remember, a gerund is an ing form of the verb that's acting as a noun, okay? It's a noun form of the verb, okay? So hiking is a gerund, swimming is a gerund, but to ride a bicycle obviously sticks out. It's not. It's a different construction, okay? So how do we fix it? We make them all gerunds. Mary likes hiking, swimming, and riding a bicycle, okay? How about this one? The production manager was asked to write his report quickly, accurately, and in a detailed manner. Okay, is that parallel? Well, notice how the right is being modified by two adverbs, and they're ly. You can see them, they have that ly ending there, and an adverbial prepositional phrase, okay? So that means that list of things that's tacked on to the verb is not parallel, okay? Let me go back to it. You'll see that quickly, accurately, in a detailed manner, okay? It's not one of those ly words. It's different, okay? So how can we revise it? Here's one possibility. The production manager was asked to write his report quickly, accurately, and thoroughly. Okay, isn't that sort of a synonym for in a detailed manner? And you know what? It's more concise too. Bonus. Okay, let's just do some practice then with both subject-verb agreement and parallelism, okay? How about this one? The settings on this instrument needs to be reset. All right, so does that violate our subject-verb agreement rule? What do you think? Take a minute. No, it should be the settings on this instrument need to be reset. Why? Because need, the verb, has to agree with settings. Okay, don't be distracted by the other noun here in the sentence. The actual subject of the sentence is the settings need to be reset. Remember my little trick? what you can do is replace that whole subject with a simple pronoun and just say, I guess you could say, they need to be reset. How about this one? The one check in envelopes of cash needs to be deposited today. Okay, subject verb agreement? No. Here we've got one of those compound subjects. The one check and envelopes of cash need to be deposited today because it's that rule where you've got the compound subject. It needs to take the plural verb. How about this one? Each of our 200 accountants reviews journal entries on a regular basis. All right, subject verb agreement, what do you think? Look at that. Each reviews. Okay, now do you see what I did? I was trying to throw you off here with a really huge number of things. 200 accountants. Okay, but remember, each is singular. Okay, so it's each reviews. Okay, I've got a couple of websites here that got some more resources for these subjects you can take a look at, and I'll post this on the website as well.